And we're live. Okay, I thought it was going to count down. I thought we were going to go 3, 2, 1, boom, and then we're live, but it doesn't do that. No, it just tells you you're live. So it's like the cameras are going, and it's time to perform. I just want, yeah, I'm in the zone, baby. Yes, I'm quoting Travis Scott. Holy Jesus! I never imagined I'd be doing that, but that's my sons. They love that guy. What can I say? Yeah, so how's everybody doing? This is great. How is everyone doing? um I'm doing well. Yeah, a few more gray hairs in the beard. We're all getting older, aren't we? Huh? But what can you do? You can't really do anything except keep going. That's it. Yeah, so as this big like thing floats across the screen, there was like this big piece of dust. I'm down here in the padded cell. And like I said, I hope you're doing well. This is kind of usually, or it used to be that this was strictly for mixed martial arts. That's not really the case anymore. We can talk about anything you want, really, within reason. YouTube being what it is. But yeah, we can talk about just about anything. But I have some mixed martial arts stuff that I'd like to talk about. But yeah, just I have other interests aside from that, as you've probably seen from the videos. I love music. I grew up in the 80s, so heavy metal, hard rock, rock and roll, that's my thing. um and also I'm still working out like a fiend. I was at the gym earlier today, and what did I do? I did arms, I did bis and tris. I always do bis and tris together. What do you guys do? What do you guys do to work out? Tell me. I'm interested. I want to know. And then I did a little bit of cardio, and then I hopped in the sauna. I really love the sauna. I really believe in it. There's been some studies that have been done about the just how many benefits there are to saunas, to using saunas on a regular basis. And it's not easy. It's like it's not like riding a bike where you once you learn, that's it. It's like every time you get in the sauna, it's the same challenge. It's still as hard as the last time that you did it. It never really gets any easier, and that is the beauty of it. Yeah, Ghost. Hey, fight fan. Yeah, that's I used to do. This is my hey, fight fans. Boom. Stuff like that. I used to do a lot of stuff like that. The TED is back. Yes. So right. So working out is a big thing for me. It's my therapy, my iron therapy, as it were. So I'm interested to know what you guys do for that. And here, let's see what else is going on here in the kind of the mid-Atlantic area of the United States. We recently had some snow, just a little bit of snow. Well, some people got more. Some people got 8 inches. Um, Thank you, man. Yeah, Ghost. Yeah, one of the originals. That's right. I mean, I think I first jumped on YouTube somewhere 2009, maybe. So I guess it is going back a little bit, 2009 or so. Yeah. And through a series of mishaps, I guess I wound up in the YouTube doghouse. Still in the YouTube doghouse. I find myself in a big old hole that I have to dig my way out of, but that's fine, because it's about the journey, isn't it? It's about the climb. So happy that you guys are here with me on this journey. As far as the doghouse, what that means is that I'm not allowed to monetize this channel until I reach certain goals that are virtually unreachable for a small channel. But whatever, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it eventually. We'll get there. Because I would like to monetize this thing again. For shits and giggles. We'll see. Yeah. So like I said, we had some snow. Some parts of the state had as much as 8 inches or more. I had like maybe 2 or 3, and then it's been kind of crazy with like wind and rain, just like really shitty shitty ass weather. I mean, I would rather have snow. I would rather have snow than shitty ass like wind and wind driven rain. Like, who likes that? I don't think anybody likes wind driven rain. I don't know. I don't think there's one soul out there that's like, yeah, I like wind driven rain. Hello, it's me. No, no one does. No one does. Um, but yeah, so we'll tell you what. Let's get into the mixed martial arts stuff. And I was going to talk about UFC 300 because that's coming up April 13th. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for the UFC, you know, which started in. Oh, okay. Well, I tell you what. Ghost wants to talk about the 10-foot aliens. So for those of you who don't know, so in Miami, I think it was last week, and I first saw the aerial shots. I don't know if it was taken from a helicopter or some drones, but so it was an aerial view of a certain part of Miami where police had responded, and it had to be just about every car, every police cruiser in the city was there. Like, it was an unbelievable response. Either it was just a slow night, or they really thought something terrible was happening because they all were there. Like, usually you don't see, and I was a newspaper reporter. Yeah, I was a newspaper reporter for 25 years. I covered crime and emergency news. Now I work I'm on the other side of things. I work in public relations for emergency management. Okay. It looked like what a response would be when an officer is in trouble. Okay. That's the kind of response that it was. It was that many police cruisers. So it somehow got around to that. So it was either the official report was juveniles with sticks fighting. Okay. Juveniles with sticks in some kind of melee, some kind of brawl. But there were other people that believed, and there were other reports that said, no. It was aliens that were 8 to 10 feet tall causing the mayhem. Right, exactly, Ghost. That was a lot of cops for just teens fighting. I mean, unless we're talking about a big old, what they used to call in the 70s and 80s, a rumble where you got like 25 on 25, and you got switchblades and chains. This is back when nobody used guns. You know, brass knuckles, switchblades, chains, pipes, sticks, you know, stuff like that. You know, unless you're talking like 25 on 25, you didn't need that many cops. It was just weird. It was just bizarre. So there was another story, another theory, shall we say, that it was actually 8 to 10 foot tall aliens that were attacking people. I don't know. We've heard a lot about aliens lately, and you know, maybe, who knows? Maybe in the future we'll learn more, but I don't know. I don't know what to think. I mean, this instance seems a little bizarre. Gotta say, it seems a little bizarre, but you know, I think we always thought that aliens were little. We always thought that they were, you know, small in stature. They were diminutive. Who's to say that aliens aren't giants? I mean, supposedly, if you talk to some historians, there's a belief out there that long ago there were giants that roamed the earth. There were people. It was kind of an offshoot of the human race that were 8 to 10 feet tall or whatever, and it was normal. Yeah, those people saw something inside them all. They saw something, spooked them, spooked the shit out of them. But you know, we've had all these encounters with aliens. We've seen more footage recently of you know, jet fighter pilots encountering stuff up there in the sky that they have no idea what the hell they're looking at, and it's moving faster than they can, like almost infinitely faster, and they're just bewildered as to what the hell is going on. So I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think, but you know, as we move into the future, and everybody's got a camera, there's cameras everywhere now, on every corner, in every person's pocket, there's cameras. So I think we may see something. We may see some sort of evidence. We already have, and we may, hopefully we'll continue to see that evidence. But yeah, everybody used to think that aliens were just like these little green guys, these little harmless green dudes that just like the probe things or whatever. Uh but who's to say that they're not giants as well, you know? Yeah, I bet you were a big fan of the X-Files. Kevin from Chicago, I'm doing great, man. How you doing? So I thought going back to MMA and UFC, I thought we'd look back briefly on UFC 200 because we're approaching UFC 300, and that's a big deal. That's a really big deal, just by the number and the success of the UFC. It started in 1993, and to look at it then and to look at it now, it's just the evolution is amazing. But you look at UFC 200, and that was a debacle. I think we kind of put a lot of pressure on these numbered events, like 200. It's got to be something great. It's got to be something great because it's 200, just because of the number. But when you look at it, Conor was supposed to be on the card, and he like retired. He was kind of like at odds with the UFC. John Jones was supposed to be on the card, and he failed a drug test. Banned or illegal substances, right? So he got off the card. Brock Lesnar stepped in. He was already out of the UFC and back into the WWE, and then he went back to the UFC for this fight. I believe that if I remember correctly, he failed a drug test prior to the fight, but the UFC let him fight anyway, because if Brock wasn't on that card, it would have really sank. So the whole UFC 200 was a debacle. It really was a shit show. So I don't think that we should put too much on UFC 300. Well, the other thing with UFC 200 was they raised the price. If you remember, they raised the price for the pay-per-view because it was UFC 200, right? And they said, no, it's just going to be for this. It's going to be for this one. We're going to raise the price. But they didn't bring it back down for 201. If I remember correctly, they did not bring it back down for 201. They kept it at that higher price. Yeah, Kevin, long time. No, it's been a long time. Greasy, Harambe's final seed Momo is sending love to the padded cell. Thank you. If it's the same person, I love how you change your name every so often. It's awesome. Remember Dan from Oregon or Oregon? Dan from Oregon. Yes, I believe I do. Yep. No, come on, guys. I know that's bullshit. I remember all you guys. I do. Yeah, Ghost Jones was champion when you stopped covering MMA, and now you're back in and he's champion again. Crazy, isn't it? Full circle. Through all the DUIs and the hiding under the cage and at wherever he was, John, what was it? Greg, Greg Jackson and the Jackson Winklejohn. There you go. Pulled it out of my ass. Hiding under the cage, the DUIs, the wife beating. Remember the hit and run that he did? My God, so many things. And yet they just, he's money. He's money, so they keep bringing him back. So who do I think will headline? Here's the question from Kevin. Yeah, let's go over what they have right now. And you guys correct me if I'm wrong, because I just kind of did a quick scan. So on the main card, what they have right now is Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan for and these two guys are going to determine the next challenger for the lightweight championship held by Islam Makhachev. So Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan, kind of a veteran versus an up and comer, or a guy he's been around for a little while. Tsarukyan, he's 21-3, 27 years old. versus Oliveira, 34 years old, 34 wins, 9 losses. So that's we know that's going to be one of the main card fights. Okay, that's pretty solid. On the undercard, we know Aljamain Sterling, who's a former champ, versus Calvin, is it Cotter or Qatar? We have Jiri Prochaska versus Alexander Rakic, and then one of my favorites, Bo Nickel, because he went to Penn State. He was a Penn State All-American, I believe, wrestler. Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage. Brundage. Yeah, there you go. Greasy. Ted's just a super big John Jones fan. Oh, yeah. So okay, and then the other thing we know is that Connor, no last name necessary, just Connor. He just recently tweeted out, and I did do a video on this. He's not going to be fighting until June or something like that. So he says he's going to be fighting in June because he's got to get off the juice, right? The guy is huge. Have you seen the guy? He's huge. So he's got to get off the sauce. So he's not going to be fighting until International Fight Week, which is I think in June. So he's not going to be fighting at UFC 300. He missed out on 200. God damn it, he's going to miss out on 300 as well. Dana's making all these big fight announcements days after Francis versus AJ gets made. I wonder why. That's a big that's a big boxing fight matchup that I did do a little video on. Francis Ngannou, who a lot of people say won the fight against Tyson Fury, is going to fight Anthony. What is his name? I don't follow boxing that much. He's a British boxer. Anthony. I can't remember. Somebody help me out, please. But anyway, Ngannou is money, and although he is under contract with the PFL. He's under contract with the PFL, but he's dipping his toe back into the boxing world because he could probably make more money there than he can at MMA. Let's face it, it's still the case. Juice said Turkey didn't age well. With John having a new surgery yesterday, right? Yeah, I think it was on his elbow. Means he's going to be out for a long time yet. Do you not agree that Tom Aspinall is being done a dirty by the UFC as he is the interim champ? Oh, so Simon, you're saying should they just should they just name him, award him the undisputed championship because John Jones is going to be out for a while? I mean, that's I don't know that that's ever been the UFC's MO. They always they like we have the champ and then we have the interim champ and they battle it out to be the champ. They always seem to like that scenario. Now, is it fair? I don't know. I mean, you can make that argument, but as Ric Flair would say, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo! So I don't think that Tom Aspinall should just be bequeathed they should not bestow the title on him. He needs to beat John Jones. He can be interim and remain at interim, and then when John Jones is all healed up and whatever, then we have them go head to head. Should he fight Stipe and the winner fights Jones? I mean, that's I guess it would depend on the fight schedule. If they have enough big fights between now and when John Jones is ready, because you figure he's got a rehab and then he needs a fight camp. So, I mean, we could be talking not until the end of the year. So, are you going to have Tom Aspinall just sit on the shelf all that time? No, have him fight somebody else. Have him defend the interim belt. I like that idea. So yeah, fight Stipe. Aspinall versus Stipe. Stipe. There you go. How do you like that one? Hold that one out. Anthony Joshua. Yeah, I was like Jones, Jackson, Johnson, Joshua, Anthony Joshua. Right. I mean, I don't think he has a belt right now, but he's a former champion. I mean, he's very good. He's very, very good. He lost to the guy that's the one of the title holders. Like Tyson Fury has a belt, and then this other guy, I think his last name is Usyk. And don't get on me too hard if I'm butchering that name. But he's kind of a smaller guy, but he's very, very good. So he beat Anthony Joshua twice, I believe. Aspinall doesn't want to fight Cyril Gane. See, I've been out of I've kind of been away from mixed martial arts for a while, so I don't know how to pronounce any of these names anymore. I just don't. Yeah, so Aspinall needs to stop crying and fight Cyril Gane. Aspinall doesn't want to fight Gane because he knows he's going to lose. Okay, I mean, but I think they should do it anyway. Just, I mean, I guess he could refuse, but he's going to end up looking, like a pansy if he does. Have him fight either Gane or Stipe until Jones is ready. Boom. That's that. Any thoughts on Power Slap? Okay, I need to catch up on Power Slap. Yeah, I need to catch up on it. Because they're doing this. For those of you who don't know, the UFC got involved in the slap game. The slap fighting. Because it was big over in Russia, and Dana White, I guess in his infinite wisdom, is like he could see the dollar signs, just like he could when he saw the UFC was up for sale for like, what was it, $2 million. And he went to his buddies, the Fertitta brothers, who had all the money. And he's like, hey, guys, we can really make this happen. Just like then, he saw the slapping that was going on over in Russia and the popularity. And he had this vision. And he says, I can make it popular here in the United States. So now it's like the Ultimate Fighter. They have the kind of the veterans of the slap game. And then they have the up and comers, the guys that want the contracts. I really don't know how lucrative it is. I'm sure they still have other jobs. But so they put them all in a house with a shit ton of liquor, and then they're eliminating each other and whittling it down, and then the two guys that are the coaches, well, they're gonna fight for one of the belts. Here's the crazy thing. So I got to catch up on the episodes, but what I did see, I guess the challenger for the belt, or maybe he's the champ. He actually had a bare knuckle fight, like just an impromptu. He hit the dude twice with a closed fist. It's like, well, what's the point then? Now you're gonna slap the guy? Like, no, don't do that, because then it loses its mystique. Like you're gonna brawl with the guy in the gym, and you hit him twice with your fist, but now you're just gonna slap him. So they got to tell that guy, hey, dude, cool it, because that looks dumb. You're negating the sport of slap. But I got to catch up on that. I do. It does interest me. I think it's cool. I think it's fun. I don't think anyone in history was asking to defend an interim belt. It seems so wrong, says Simon O'Shea. Then why have it? That's the thing. So I'm just spitballing here, but you know what I'm saying? Like, so you have an interim belt. You're just the holder of the belt. Is that it? You just hold it, but you don't defend it. You know how to take the reservation. You just don't know how to hold the reservation. And that's really the important part, the holding. Is that it? He's just supposed to hold and not defend. So I don't know. Maybe do away with interim belts. It's like I don't know. It's like they can't stand to not have somebody who is of sound body with a belt. Like, you can't have an injured dude with a belt. That just doesn't make any sense. So you got to have somebody who's ready to fight with the belt. I don't know. I don't quite get the whole philosophy behind it. Aspinall could definitely steamroll Cyril Gane on the ground. Yeah, Gane is as far as I know, he's primarily a striker. He's a devastating striker, but probably not so great on the ground. Interim champs do fight other opponents before facing the undisputed champion. So yeah, they do defend the interim belts. It's happened many times, and that's true. That's true. So it all depends on whether you like it or not. What's the last time an interim belt? When was the last time an interim belt was defended? I can't remember. I don't know. I'd have to look. And then it says Simon, it's saying, yeah, it kind of waters down the real belt. Yeah, because it's like, what is like, I don't know. Do you put that, do you put the interim belt in your glass case and say, well, I was interim champ one time? Like, I guess it's an achievement. I don't know. The whole thing is weird. It's just weird. Heyman Barrow defended the belt. Right. So yeah. Anyway, back to the undercard. So Aljamain Sterling, who's a former champ, versus Calvin Kattar, Jiri Prohaska versus Alexander Rakic, and then Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage. And yeah, Bo Nickel is a guy that he said recently he's not in any rush. He's a middleweight, right? He's not in any rush for his career. He's taking his time. Because he's already in the he's only like 5 fights deep in his career, and he's already at the UFC. He's that good, at least what we've seen so far. But you got Strickland as the champ. It looks like Duplessis he's going to fight Duplessis next, maybe. But you still have Adesanya hanging around. But Nickel is far down because he only has 2 wins in the UFC to his credit, and he hasn't beaten anybody who's top 10. Yeah, Greasy. Titles and interims are all marketing gimmicks, in my opinion. Right. I mean, who doesn't want to see a belt on this side and a belt on this side? And so then, and then we get to the big belt. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just hype. It's like, oh, how can we make the stakes higher? Bo knows. Yeah, Bo knows. Bo Jackson. See, that's from Bo Jackson, Kevin from Chicago. Bo Jackson, one of the greatest athletes to ever live. And it's just a shame that he busted his hip playing for the who's it for? The Raiders. He was playing for the Raiders, and I think it was in the Pro Bowl. He busted his hip, and he returned to baseball, but he couldn't play football anymore. I mean, he was a dual sport guy. Deion Sanders did it a little bit, but I think Bo did it better. Bo Jackson was a running back for the Raiders, and then he played for the Kansas City Royals, and then he went on to play for the Chicago White Sox. But look up, if you don't know who Bo Jackson is, I hope you do. But look up some of his highlights. The guy did it. He caught a ball that was, it was looking like it was going to be a home run, and he basically walked on the wall. They had that wall in the back of baseball stadiums. He like took like boom, boom, but he took like 3 steps. He was parallel with the ground and made a catch. Like, he just did crazy stuff, just absolutely crazy. But anyway, yeah, they should resurrect the Bo Knows campaign. If Bo Nickel someday becomes champ, Nike should resurrect the Bo Knows campaign with Bo Nickel. Boom. You heard it here first. Probably first. We got more UFC live streams. I missed the TED Talks. Yeah, now I'm going to be totally honest with you. It got to a point, where it's like, not everybody wants to, you want to get your buds together. You want to get your friends together and watch it. But, people are busy, and that not everybody's into the UFC the way that you're into the UFC. You know what I mean? And so it doesn't always work out. So the last time I did it, it's like I'm sitting in my living room watching this pay-per-view by myself. I'm like, what am I doing? Yeah. So it just, I don't know. If I see a pay-per-view now, it's like I'll go with some people and we'll go to like Buffalo Wild Wings. We'll go to B-Dubs, and see it that way. That way you don't have to pay for it. I mean, yeah, you buy dinner, but that's fine. You're there to eat dinner. You buy dinner and you have some drinks or whatever, and you watch the pay-per-view. Ghost, yeah, Bo Jackson, greatest athlete of all time. I mean, that could definitely be argued, despite the short career. If you look at some of the feats that he did you guys see this video? It's a few years old, but it's Bo Jackson, and he's on a baseball field, and he's talking to a little kid. This is like real. This is not like a commercial or whatever. He's talking to a kid, and the kid has no idea who Bo Jackson is. The kid has no idea. And Bo's like, yeah, I did this. I did that. And he's not being cocky. He's humble, but he's telling the kid, he's kind of giving the kid his bona fides. He's saying, yeah, I did this. I played in the NFL. I played in MLB. And the kid is just not impressed. Like kid, where are your parents? Because your parents are the problem. They did not teach you properly. It's like you have no idea who you're talking to at this moment, kid. Oh my God. I used to collect long ago. I used to collect baseball cards. The card I really, really wanted was when Bo was at Auburn, and it's a card where I think he's wearing his football pads, but he's got a baseball hat on, and he's got the baseball bat. So it's clearly he's representing both. This is before the ball player Nike poster, the black and white Nike poster came out. He had a special baseball card made up when he was in college. They did it, and so he's got the Auburn baseball hat on and the baseball bat that he's holding out in front of him, but he's wearing his football pads. It's just sick. It's awesome. Frank Thomas, really? Oh, I don't know. I could have sworn it was Bo Jackson, but yeah, Frank Thomas was on the he played with Bo in Chicago. I could have sworn it was Bo. Anyway, somebody find it. Somebody find it and tell me. Okay, let's I don't know. Let's talk about Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland is probably the guy. He's probably, like it or whether you like it or whether you don't like it, Sean Strickland is, I would say, probably the face of the UFC right now. The guy making the most waves. Just because of he just says whatever comes to his mind, blah, he just says it, and that can be usually it's funny. But also, he's prone to anger. He's really been getting on this guy, Ian Gary, which I admit it's kind of a weird situation where Gary took his wife's last name. I don't, why would you do that as a dude? Why would you do that? I don't know. So yeah, I admit that's a bit bizarre, but Strickland seems to be kind of fixated on that guy, Ian Gary. Yeah. Imagine paying for a pay-per-view in 2024. What is it? What do they cost now? I don't even know. Okay, I'll guess $85. I bet you it's like $85 for a pay-per-view. That's terrible, because really you're only getting from 10 p.m. to midnight. You're getting 2 hours, right? Because the undercard is if you have ESPN Plus, I guess you have to have ESPN Plus in order to order the pay-per-view. Ridiculous. It is all a scam. But so you're paying for the undercard in some way. But when you buy the pay-per-view starts at 10 p.m. and it ends about midnight, maybe 12:30. So 2.5 hours for whatever the price is, $85. I don't know. Simon O'Shea, the face. Yeah. Sean Strickland. He's the face of the UFC. I don't think Dana's a fan. I mean, Dana is the ringmaster. Okay. For all these animals, so to speak. I say that as a term of endearment. But he's the guy that's got to run the circus, and he's never put a muzzle on the fighters. That's the beauty of the fight game. That's the beauty of the UFC, is he doesn't muzzle the fighters. You know, if you want to, I don't know, say crazy stuff like Israel Adesanya did, I think he said some crazy stuff. I'm not even going to repeat it to Duplessis. If you want to talk politics like Cody does, Colby, not Cody. God, I've been out of it too long. I'm getting too old for this shit. Colby, you want to talk politics? He lets you say pretty much whatever you want. And it really is. They say that Twitter, or now X, is the last bastion of free speech on the internet. Well, the UFC is the last bastion of free speech as far as sports is concerned. Everybody else gets muzzled. But yeah, I think right at this point in time, the guy that's getting the most press is Sean Strickland. I don't know. Is he on the spectrum? Maybe. I mean, he had a terrible childhood. In all seriousness, he had a terrible childhood, and I believe he got in trouble with the law. Has he done prison time? I think he might have done some prison time. So the guy's had it kind of rough. You know what I mean? And that changes a person. There's no way it can't. Firework fight 2 weeks before a title fight. Simon, are you talking about who are you talking about? Strickland and Duplessis, maybe? Mr. Machado. Mr. Machado is a good family man. Oh, Ian Gary. Yeah, that's the name that Ian adopted. His wife's name, her last name is Machado. Now, here's the question: is that her? If she was married before, is that her name from her previous marriage, Machado? Because if it is, so then Ian Gary is taking another man's last name. Really? I hope that's not true. Duplessis will win. Yeah, I predict Duplessis will win as well. I think that Strickland's emotions are going to get, because he has some straight up hatred for Duplessis. We saw he attacked him cage side. Yeah, Ghost says Drickus is gonna TKO Strickland. Simon says it's $30 in New Zealand. Oh, you're from New Zealand. Nice. I've been to Australia. I have not been to New Zealand, but everything I've seen of New Zealand, it looks absolutely beautiful. Yeah, in 2005, I was in Australia. So $30 in New Zealand money. I don't know what that translates to US. Greasy, even with Sean fighting, the upcoming pay-per-view is absolutely garbage. Crazy they expect people to pay for that shit. Nina and Sean had a firework fight in the desert with other people. Serious injury risk. It's on. Oh, geez, this is news to me. Nina and Sean. Nina. See, I'm out of it. Who's Nina? Who is Nina? Is that Ian Gary's wife, or is that Sean Strickland's girlfriend, or who is that? Simon O'Shea. Well, I should have known you're Irish. With a name like that, I should hope you're Irish. What do I think about Jorge Masvidal's return? Wow, I see you guys. I got to catch up. Jorge Masvidal is apparently returning. Wow. I mean, I don't know. I thought his best days were behind him. I thought good on him. He had a great career, a long career. The guy been around a long time. But I thought, okay, he's done. And greener pastures, right? So I don't know. Nina blew up while you were gone. Yeah. Oh, Nina is the new MMA reporter. Oh, uh-oh. So what happened to who's the chick with the dark hair that comes down to about here? She's married to a fighter. Oh God, what is her name? She's probably pissed. She's probably pissed that there's a new chick on the scene. Supposedly the UFC is trying to set up a boxing match between Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz. Okay, that's a new wrinkle. That's a new wrinkle. See, the UFC is getting into the boxing game. Okay, I mean, well, they did before with Conor versus Mayweather. Jorge Masvidal's new organization. Okay, Megan O'Leary. Yeah, Megan O'Leary. Yeah, she was kind of the it girl, the UFC it girl. So she must be pissed that Nina's around. Oh, because there was for a time there, Megan was out front and doing all the interviews, and so she's so if you give me why don't tell you what why don't you tell me who you have in that fight? Oh, Gaethje versus Islam. Okay, so Justin Gaethje. Kevin says Justin Gaethje versus Islam Makhachev. Is that a signed fight or is that a kind of a dream fight? Main event. Damn, Ted, you don't even watch bummy fight night cards. No, no, man, no. I catch the pay-per-views when I can, but like I said, I've been out of it. I got real disenchanted with the sport for a while, you know. Jacking like I said before, jacking the pay-per-view price up, Conor getting in trouble all the time, John Jones getting in trouble all the time. Okay. Kevin says that's what Islam said he wants next. Then Oliveira Arman winner. So Islam, if he's running the show, if he's the shot caller, Islam says he wants Gaethje, I guess is like a tune-up fight, right? Is that the way he's looking at it? As a tune-up fight? Oh, I want Gaethje, and then I'll take the winner of Oliveira versus Sarukian. Yeah, so Ank versus Walker. I still don't know what that is. But Cowboy Oliveira has 5 babies by 5 different baby moms. Shit, he's approaching NFL wide receiver level. They all lived on the same. Oh, so he's got himself a harem. Oh, he's got himself a harem. See, now that's the way to go, right? Right? That is, from what I hear, that's the way to go. I mean, if you can take care of them all, why not? You know, don't get the state involved. No, Kevin, I don't think Gaethje's a slouch at all. I don't think he's a tune-up fight. I think that's probably the way that Makhachev might be looking at it, which would be the wrong thing to do as well. But right, yeah, like I mean, you just have your baby mamas and you take care of them, and they've each got their space, their house or whatever, and as long as you can afford it. Is that so wrong? We're all adults here. Is that so wrong? I don't know. This is pure comedy right here. Everything that I'm saying, this is the disclaimer. This is a comedy show. I should put this at the beginning of this, so I don't get in trouble. It's a comedy show. The whole thing. Nothing I say is to be taken seriously. In the favelas in Brazil, I don't think money mattered. The favelas, for those who don't know, that's kind of like the ghetto, the shanty town, in some of the cities in Brazil. Yeah, but when you're in America, you got to have the money. If you want to do that, if you want to have that kind of situation where you got all these baby mamas, you got to take care of them. That's the right thing to do. That's the honorable thing to do for your children. For Islam, Justin is a tune-up fight. I'm a huge Gaethje fan, but his grappling and specifically his defensive grappling on the ground is horrible. I mean, Makhachev, he's a Dagestani, isn't he? I mean, those guys are just brutal on the ground. They never stop. They're tough as nails. And they're just absolutely friggin' wizards on the ground. So yeah. What fight are you most looking forward to in the next 6 months in the UFC? I guess Strickland versus Duplessis. Um, I guess that one. Um, I'll have to look. I'll get back to you. I'll have a better answer, but just like top of my head, that one, and then Bo Nickel, because like I said, I'm a big fan of Bo Nichols, and he may not have. Well, you just never know. It's the fight game, but let's say he let's hope that Cody Brundage gives him a little bit of a fight. I don't know much about Cody Brundage. Maybe he's like really really good. Um, MVP versus Kevin Holland. Yeah, that. All right. So Michael Venom Page, MVP. That guy was in Bellator for a long, long time. And okay. So the knock on him is that, yeah, he looks spectacular with all that he did, but really they just fed him tomato can after tomato can after tomato can to build up this record. And then finally, when he met somebody, I think it was Douglas Lima. Douglas Lima put him out. He put him out. And then more recently, he did a bare knuckle fight. He lost that by decision to Platinum Mike Perry. Mike Perry, how about Mike Perry, huh? How about that guy? That guy, it used to be that bare knuckle was where where MMA fighters went to die. That's not really the case anymore. I mean, some of those guys I think are doing okay. I'm not saying that the money is fan-frickin-tastic, but some of those guys are doing okay. Platinum probably is. But going back to MVP, so MVP, the guy was a lot of flash. I was never really impressed with him because he, because they fed him all these tomato cans. But it should be an exciting fight versus Kevin Holland. I think that'll be an exciting fight, regardless. Bo Nickel versus Hamzat Shamaev is the fight to make at some point. I agree at some point, but let's let Bo get his feet wet. The guy's had 2 fights in the UFC. I think he's got like 5 total fights, something like that. I mean, let the guy, get some. You don't want to make that fight too soon. Is my issue. Let him get some experience. Let him take a fight all the way. Let him fight three full rounds if it goes that way. I mean, if he finishes, he finishes. But let him get into deep waters. See how that feels. Only took him 10 years to make it to the UFC, says Greasy. Who? Oh, MVP. Yeah. It took him. Well, I mean, he was under contract with Bellator, and I think he was comfortable there. He was comfortable beating all these tomato cans. Mike Perry is the BKFC GOAT. Yep. He is. Remember when bare knuckle boxing was illegal in the United States? The only way you could do it was on Native American reservations, because they're sovereign nations in the United States. So they operate on pretty much their own law, under their own laws. So you can have bare knuckle fights on Native American reservations. You could have an 8-man tournament, an 8-man one-night tournament. I remember they did it long after they outlawed it. Did away with it in the United States. So, because there's something about most athletic commissions in the States say you can't fight more than one time in a night. So if you're going to do a one night 8-man tournament, you're going to be fighting 3 times. Two fighters will fight 3 times in one night, because you got the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals. Yeah, Mike Perry definitely found his, but now bare knuckle is legal in a lot of states, and I think it's great. It's another sport that we can get behind. It's kind of it's another offshoot kind of MMA, of MMA. And it's very exciting most of the time. And Perry found his calling in bare knuckle for sure. Oh God. Hey, I said it was an Ask Me Anything, didn't I? Simon O'Shea, what do you think of Dana White power slapping his wife? I mean, I terrible, terrible. You know, um, yeah, she I believe struck him first. So I'll just say it this way: in some states, uh, you have what's like they would both get charged. In some states, they would both get charged because that's a mutual agreement to fight. So so if I punch you, but you don't punch me, then I get charged. But if I punch you and you punch me, then we both get charged. I mean, I thought it was terrible. Um, you know, it shouldn't have happened. Um, Hopefully it got worked out. Uh, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? I thought it was terrible. No, yeah, no. Uh, hey, I stopped myself. I did not say INDIAN. I stopped myself. Well, I said it and then I corrected myself. These days, yeah, yeah. And apparently, the Native Americans have a problem now with the Washington Redskins not being the Washington Redskins. The people, whoever was in charge of changing the name to the Commanders, didn't consult with actual Native Americans because at least there's a group of Native Americans that are like, no, we liked that. We liked it when they were called the Redskins. Please bring it back. Sheesh. Um, uh, yeah, yeah. I know you're joking, Simon, but yeah, I mean, we all remember Fallon Fox, right? Fallon Fox was at one point a man, and then I guess transitioned, and then didn't tell anybody. And I think it's it's undeniable that even in a transition, there's still muscle density, bone density, the agility and stamina, things like that remain. And so it was borderline a crime for Fallon Fox not to tell the sports commissions, the athletic commissions, that hey, I used to be a dude. Um, it was wrong not to report that. And once it came out, there were still some women that agreed to fight Fallon Fox, and actually one of them did succeed in winning. But yeah, I actually think that what they should do is have their own division. You should have the male division, female division, and a transgender division to make things perfectly safe and fair. Yeah. So Woodley, what do I think about Woodley eating good? I haven't seen a recent picture of Tyron Woodley. I thought he was going to stick with the boxing thing. So has he ballooned up? Is that what you're saying there, Ghost? I haven't seen a recent picture. I have so much work to do after this. I got to look up Nina. I got to look up Tyron Woodley. I got to look up what was it, the other fight there? Ank versus somebody. Where is that? Ank versus, was it Wilson or Walker? Ank versus Walker. I got to look that up. So I got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. And I appreciate you guys keeping me up to date on all this. It's a safe space. I appreciate it. Thailand. I guess they do mixed gender fights in Thailand. I know we've seen that before. Usually it doesn't work out in favor of the woman, but I don't know. I don't know what to say about it because Thailand has the ladyboy thing. So we're we talking like a legit female versus a male, or we're talking a ladyboy versus a male. See, that's a whole nother thing. Something. Um, right. Well, hey, look at the time. Yeah, it's almost been an hour, so I think we are going to call it a night. And I appreciate all the interaction from all you guys here. Simon, Ghost, Greasy. Um, who else was here? Kevin was in for a while. Kevin from Chicago was in. So I appreciate all you guys. Um, and spread the word. I'm going to try to make this a fairly regular thing. I don't know if it's going to be what's today, Wednesday. I don't know if it's going to be Wednesday, every Wednesday. I'm going to try to do something, fairly regular. Um, and it would be helpful if it was the same day every week, wouldn't it? It would be helpful. I think so. So yeah, thanks so much. I appreciate all you guys, and I will talk to you soon.